Sky Wars 2026. We're on with Jacob Pierce. How are you doing, Jacob?
Can't complain.
You are in Parker, Texas, right? How many years have you been in pyro?
I started when I turned 18, 2018. I graduated high school. Me and my friends kind of got into it. I kind of just grabbed it, and then a lot of my friends were like, okay, you're getting a little too far into it. I've really only been serious since 23, probably.
Is that when you started doing pyromusicals?
Yeah, I started hanging out kind of around that crowd here. I remember leaving Sky Wars in 23, and that was when the big show rained out. I was bummed I didn't get to see the show, but also I was just like, okay, I need to figure out like how to do this. And I guess since that moment, I've been just full force trying to get to where I am now.
Congratulations on being selected as a Pro-Am competitor. How did your journey get from you just, messing around with consumer fireworks to getting to do pyromusicals and scripting? What does that journey look like for you?
I always liked watching fireworks, but city shows are just kind of sort of boring. But when I was setting them off myself, that itch, I just finally scratched it a little. I wanted to go bigger, so I think I started off with Ignite. Eventually, some of my friends able to buy Proline at the time, they were like, okay, well, if you're doing a show, I'll bring some slices out, and that just wowed the crowd even more. I was like, okay, well, I want to do this, but bigger. I ended up buying Cobra. I looked into scripting a show. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. That same year, I was like, well, I'm going to Sky Wars. And then someone told me about Lone Star Firework Festival in Texas. A buddy of mine was doing a blind pyro there, and he was out of his league too. And he was like, I don't know what I'm doing. So he's like, you want to help me? And I was like, part of that curse of pyros not being able to say no. Right. Okay, I can help. And that was my actual first show scripting, which is an awful first experience. Don't do blind pyro if you're looking for a good entry into pyromusicals.
What a way to just throw yourself into the deep end.
At that point, I'd been to Sky Wars, so I was hooked. But that first experience was it kind of crushed me a little bit. The hook was still set from Sky Wars.
Well, I'm glad you brushed yourself off. I'm sure you learned a lot.
It was an experience I needed to have, and I'm glad I had it.
And are you part of any firework clubs?
We have Pyrotechnics Artists of Texas, or PAT for short, and we're kind of like a builder/display club. A lot of clubs are just one or the other, but we kind of do both. I joined in 24. I've done 2 displays there, and that's been great. And there's a lot of people in our club who've done big displays. We have 2 guys who have shot at Sky Wars, and it's awesome to learn from those people.
Besides your blind pyro experience, do you have any other pyromusicals under your belt that you've done? Any bigger displays?
After 23, I was like, okay, I want to get to Sky Wars, so I kind of tried to figure out exactly what I needed to do to achieve that goal. And I'd heard from so many people, video. You got to have good video. I don't even know if there's a video of my blind pyro out there. I'm sure there is, and I don't care to see it, but I was like, well, I need to get some displays under my belt. So we did one for our club meet, me and my buddy, went pretty well. And after that, we were talking about doing another display. And at the time, Lone Star Fireworks Festival had applications open for Pro-Am. And me and my friends formed a team. It was me and 2 other guys, Jeff Ireland and Josh Gross. We basically were we all done displays at that point. It's just backyard size. And we were like, well, it's kind of a big jump from that to a 1,500 cue show, so let's just do it together. And at first we actually didn't get in, and then we were offered a blind pyro spot, and that was kind of funny, oh no. I guess lucky for us, someone dropped out of the Pro-Am that year, so we ended up getting that slot. That year, the 3rd Deadpool movie had come out, so we did a theme to all of the Deadpool music. We ended up winning, which was just crazy to us, because we were the backyard guys. Since then, we've just stuck together as a team. We call ourselves a J-Team. All of our names start with J, so J-Team. Then last year, Chris let us do the closing display there, which was a very daunting task. When you go from 1.4 to 1.3, your verticals and everything just are so different, and also just the scale. It was a big experience. 4,300 cues was our cue count for that show. The biggest thing that had ever been shot at Lone Star Fireworks Festival for sure. And it turned out fantastic. The crowd liked it, and we learned a ton. Mostly, don't do prep on site, especially if you have. We had 2 wheels in that show for a tower, and we were building the wheels on site, and wheels take an insane amount of time. That would be my biggest show I've done I guess.
Okay, so at Lone Star Fest, you've done
Hmm.
the blind pyro and then a pro-am where you won, and then you were asked to do the closing display the
Yeah,
following
correct.
year. That's quite a bit. It seems like you've almost gone through like the Skywars trajectory at Lone Star, and now you're ready for the big guns at Skywars.
Yeah, it
And
was, no, big thing is just knowing people in the
mhm.
industry. Chris Stacy, he does so much through that event. I was able to lean on him a lot over the last few years. Same with Pat and all the members. I'm going to forget a lot of people like James Howard. He shot Skywars. He did the mass launch last year. His knowledge is just infinite.
Networking is one of the big things in pyro because it makes you better and you learn from the best so you can become one of the best. I think that's pretty cool too, how you were like, okay, I want to do Skywars. Where do I get my pyro experience from? And to be able to lean on your local club and Lone Star is pretty great. Now we've got 2026 Skywars coming up. How are you feeling about your show?
I'm feeling pretty good. The time just, it goes so quick.
Yes.
I spent probably a good week or two playing the same kind of songs over and over and just figuring out what I wanted to do. I kind of script pretty quick normally. I joke about this a lot with Sean Hodder because me and him both script fast, and we also like a lot of the same music. Every time I see him, he'll be shooting a show, and I'm like, dude, I just used that song in my summer show. But yeah, I got the script done really fast, and now we're just kind of cruising.
Any teasers that you can give us for your show, theme, music, special effects?
As far as the music goes, what works at Skyward, I chose songs that haven't been done, or at least 2 or 3 of them for sure hadn't been done anywhere, like too notable. The music everyone sort of just gravitates towards at Skywards, which it kind of works really well. So
It does. The cinematic kind of soundtrack. I feel like you're in a fireworks movie.
I tried to figure out ways to do things that are different than everyone else, especially my other competitors, and I definitely have some stuff that I know hasn't been done at least at Sky Wars. A couple things maybe I've seen overseas. We'll see how all that comes together. Especially
Trying to
at
find
Sky
that
Wars,
originality.
everyone kind of has this expectation for Sky Wars where the shooters are going to bring this new thing. So that's kind of where my headspace was trying to figure out ways to do that, and it's definitely more exhausting than scripting for any other show I've done.
I suppose as it should be, but
Right. I told most of my crew, like, hey, I give you a week after the 4th, everyone chill, but kind of want to start prep right after that. It's going to go so quick.
You're competing against Nathan Dexter and Chad Flanders. You guys have a group chat going, right?
We did end up creating a group chat, yes. Nathan, I'd actually kind of figured that he was going to be one of the competitors this year. We're both pretty open books. Feel like we're kind of bringing this, same Q count, just trying to push the envelope. So that'll be interesting. Chad definitely is our wild card. I found one video for him, and me and Nathan, we went back and forth, and we were like, can't find anything on Chad. But the one video that I found was just incredible. I think it was like 2017, and I was like, wow, if he's grown that much in his journey since then, it's gonna be a heck of a battle.
And it sounds like you do have a pretty good crew that you've selected for your show.
So I was pretty selective with who I wanted. I kind of believe in less hands is kind of a good approach, especially if not everyone's going to show up at the beginning of the week. You get a couple fresh people towards the end. Yeah, I'm probably looking at between 8 and 10 solid workers.
Let's do some pyro fast facts. What's your firing system of choice?
Cobra.
Shocker.
At the end of the night, there will be at least one Cobra winning.
Yeah, definitely some brand recognition for Cobra on that field. What is your scripting software of choice?
Finale. 3D.
Also shocker, right?
Yeah.
not too many
that.
big options
everyone.
there. Are there any effects or techniques in a pyro musical that you consider a must-have for your own shows?
I've been getting more into trying to incorporate more different ground effects, your flame pots and your strobe pots. There's a lot of really unique sounds you can kind of hit with those. I don't think I can shoot a show now and not have different ground effects going off and closer to the audience too. So
that's such a good point too. And I personally love ground effects. That's cool. I'm excited to see how you use ground effects. Okay. As a pyro who's been in a handful of years, how many pyro t-shirts do you own?
Ooh, that's a really good one. I'd say a dozen, probably. It should honestly be more than I have.
Well, just make sure you go home with 4 Skywars shirts. When it comes to scripting, On a scale of proactive pyro to pyrocrastinator, where you start everything pretty much as last minute as you can, where do you fall on that scale?
When it comes to like scripting, once I get past the audio part, which just is always such a pain. I mean, if it's a show like this, I probably spend hundreds of hours listening to music. So once I get past that part, I'm just eager to take what's in my head and start scripting. Only problem is I've found that when I script at night, you get really into it. I'll try to go to sleep, and I'm like, why can't I sleep? That's been my biggest issue with it, but I was pretty quick about the scripting. My procrastinating happens more with the actual prep and the smaller details where I need a little bit more of a deadline to actually get myself in gear to do it.
That makes sense. As a video editor too, I get that, where you're just totally wired for several hours.
The first week that I just like sat down and started scripting,
Yeah.
I was probably sleeping maybe like 3 hours a night, and then doing like kitchen remodeling during the day. So my coworkers were like, what is wrong with you? I don't even know how to tell you, but I'm just, I'm not sleeping, and it's all my fault.
I'm sorry I'm a zombie. I have been asked to have this opportunity to present at the United States Fireworks Championship. And
Right, and that excuse only buys you so much like leeway too, especially the people who don't understand fireworks and don't know how much goes into it. So I'm kind of trying to save that excuse a little bit till later, but I can't say I haven't already said that a time or two.
Just be like, you don't understand. Just go on YouTube. I can't go unprepared. Oh, that's funny. This question came from Donnie Toms. How many lifts are you bringing this year?
Whoa, that's a great one. Without giving away too much, I might have the most on the field this year.
Wow. Okay.
I'll say that.
More than zero.
More than zero. Less than 10.
All right, now I'm excited. I can already see what kinds of effects we should be expecting. If you are crowned the winner of this year's SkyWars Pro-Am Championship, where will your trophy be displayed?
That's funny that you said that. I was thinking about this earlier because I have my Pro-Am trophy from Lone Star in my room on a shelf, but the SkyWars trophy is a lot bigger. So
I was going to say, how tall is that Lone Star one? We just got to make sure that...
it's like 11 inches, it's a standard HGP XL
okay,
tube.
So SkyWars needs to be at least a foot tall. Got it.
Yeah, so right. So yeah, I'll definitely have to come up with a better place to display it.
That actually leads me to my final question. Not just anyone gets invited to compete at SkyWars, winner or not. What does this mean for you in your pyro journey?
From day one, I was dreaming of doing this, so it's really weird to like achieve your goals. There's always that feeling of like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I did it. It just means more than I can even put into words. And I like how you said win or lose, because obviously you're competing to win, but just being there on that stage with everyone else who's competing, that's more than enough to, satisfy.
100%, I get that. No, there are no winners or losers at SkyWars, except for the blind pyro. There are definitely losers in the blind pyro, but
That's fair.
SkyWars, everyone who goes up there is just top notch. It's so good that you are able to do that this year. So congratulations on being selected to be a competitor. I think you're gonna pull out something amazing, especially if you have between 1 and 10 lifts coming. No, that doesn't measure your pyro prowess, but it's exciting.
Yeah, they don't mean you're gonna win or do something amazing. It's SkyWars. You got to go big.